We're doing a show. It's happening. We're here with Mike Feeney.
What up?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
How are you?
This is great.
Man,
great.
yeah, Mike's been a gem of a person sitting here the last 25 minutes while we've been having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But you're here.
I'm here. I'm
We're
here
in
right
it.
now. Yeah.
It's okay.
This is great. I got nothing but time, pal. I got nothing but time.
Well, that's a very polite way of saying you are fuming on the inside right now. No, man. It's fine. I got nothing but time.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's ever said that genuinely. That phrase, like, no, dude, it's fine. Yeah, I've got nothing but time.
Yeah, waste my day.
Yeah, no, totally. It's not like I'm only here for a short amount of time visiting from New York, trying to make the rounds or anything.
Sure, it's 0 degrees in New York. It's bright and 70 degrees here. I don't want to enjoy any of that sun. I'd rather be inside.
Let's stay cooped up in a studio. That's where I want to be. Mike is out visiting from New York. Very funny friend and New York comedian who just had a great album debut at #1 on iTunes, Rage Against the Routine.
Hell yeah, man.
Heck yeah, dude.
This is exciting. It's exciting. Debut album. Feels good. Getting a lot of love on it so far. So, yeah, people check that out.
Well, let's keep it going.
Woo.
Jared, I don't have a name for the listeners of this show. I'm not one of those guys who are like my wanderers or anything.
That's not bad, though.
It's all right.
Wanderers isn't bad. I like how you would like that's something you for sure have been workshopping and you tried to just tease it. Like, I don't have a name. Like maybe like name. Wanderers?
But I don't know. What about this? Boo-da-da-boo.
It definitely wouldn't be Wanderers, right?
Right, guys?
Unless you guys think it's cool.
The one person in the studio audience is clapping right now. We might have to do a studio audience. We might have to cut to a studio audience sometime, Gage, where it's just one man clapping.
Yeah, I like that.
We'll see. I'm just workshopping ideas with you at this point.
I'm just figuring it out.
I'm just figuring things out. Yeah. So Mike and I originally met at I think New York Comedy Club, probably.
Yeah.
Through our buddies Casey Balsham and Robbie Slowick.
Two very funny comedians.
Yeah.
I think it was probably through the stand-up on the spot out there, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done that multiple times. You've done it in New York. You've done it in LA the last time you visited.
Man. Great.
Yeah.
It's and for some reason, I mean, New York, it's always hot and fun, but it's different when it's like your home and your home club. So you kind of like, you're just now it's a different show in the same stage, but when I did it at the Belly Room, when you had it there, man, that earlier this year, that was killer. I mean, it was sold out, and just the energy in that place was awesome. It was rocking.
It's a lot of fun. I did your podcast. You do a great podcast with Mike Cannon.
Yeah.
Irish Goodbye podcast.
Irish Goodbye storytelling podcast. Check that out if you like stories. And Jeremiah was great on it. We did it last. Yeah. God, that was like a year ago.
Isn't that weird? That was already like a year ago.
That was before Mike had a kid.
Oh,
That was before Mike's wife was even pregnant. This was like kind of it's so weird. We were just talking about that. I was talking with Mike Cannon and Brendan Sagala, who I was out here with last time. And I was going to that Genghis Cohen, that place that there's a comedy show that Blair runs, and stuff. But they have Chinese food there, right? So I was like, maybe I'll eat there. So I texted them. I was like, hey, I'm having trouble remembering. Do you guys remember if the food was good there? Because we ate there. And Mike was like, I was hammered, but I think it was great. And Brendan was like, yeah, we were drinking before we went there. And then I was like, and we drank when we were there. And then Mike was like, and we drank afterwards when we were there. And that whole trip was just debauchery, man. Which is funny because we were 3 guys in long-term relationships. So like when I say debaucherous, I just mean like drinking a lot. You know what I mean? Like drinking and smoking weed. Like,
as debaucherous as they can get with and being in committed relationships.
Yeah. And then
it was wild. Yeah. Don't even get me started. We had martinis at 10 p.m. It got so crazy.
It literally, one of the nights ended up with Brendan and I at 3:30 in the morning watching episodes of Frasier together. Like, that's how wild and crazy we were.
Dude, I was just on the road with Tony Hinchcliffe and Joel Jimenez. We were all staying in. We usually Joel and I will stay in one room, and then Tony will stay in his own room, and Brian Redband will stay in his own room. So Joel and I are always bunking together. But there was a mess up at the hotel where they're like, we don't have any rooms available with 2 beds in them. So, but what we can do is we can upgrade you guys to the penthouse suite. And we're like, what is that? And it was a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom on the top level. And I was like, yeah, that'll work.
That'll do.
I was like, I think Tony
or
or Brian will be okay with, staying in the same quarters as us. And so we're eating DiGiorno pizza at like 3:30 in the morning that we got from a 7-Eleven. And we were watching infomercials on this beanie that is for women, that is hair that is connected to the beanie. For women who want to just roll out of bed and get the day going.
And then just put that on.
It's a wig.
Wow.
Attached to a beanie.
Like one of those trucker hats with the fake mullets.
Yeah,
like it's
that's
sewn
exactly
inside.
what it is. But this was like a high quality, supposedly high class thing. They were like $150.
Get out of here.
And then I went on Amazon and you could get some for like $30 online.
I mean, it must be a high quality. Maybe they're using real hair.
I mean,
the real hair wigs are the expensive.
Judging by this infomercial, I don't think so.
It's just 4 easy payments of $19.95.
It was something like that. Yeah, it was definitely one of those things.
That's how they get you. What a weird way to describe how much something costs is by the like you know what I mean? Just to be like, this is $1,000. I'm like, I'm sorry, I mean 10 easy payments of $100.
Yeah. I don't think that they would be able to sell like weddings like that and be like, it's 10 easy installments of like, wait, what? 10?
Yeah.
10 exactly. Installments?
Why am I paying in installments? What's the price? Let me pay for it.
Yeah, what's going on with this?
Yeah, very bizarre.
So speaking of wigs, I do this segment on the show. I didn't prep you on this. I don't prep the guests on this.
Okay.
It's called Wig.
It's an original name.
Stagehand. Get me the box, stagehand. All right. So this is what this segment is.
Okay.
I have a box of wigs.
I was just thinking, can I just say about this, because I know that you used to do, like the wave for Roast Battle and stuff, and then obviously with Kill Tony. I was like, the amount, it's got to be thousands of dollars you must have spent in costumes over the years. And I was like, does he throw them out? Does he keep them? I mean, I don't know where you store this, but if it's at your apartment, it must just be.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's literally getting obscene, like the storage bins of wigs and costumes.
Is it organized or is it just punched into there?
It's semi-organized. My spring cleaning this year, I have to reorganize it because I've added so much new stuff. I have a catalog of the wigs and different costumes in some of the bins.
Yeah.
And I have different areas, so if I need to find something, I know where it's at. So everything's in categories. Like I have like gloves, bandanas, like accessories all in one drawer, necklaces and different things.
Smart to organize.
And then the wig section is starting to get crazy because I've added so many new wigs in the last year because we've been traveling so much with Kill Tony and different stuff like that I've added more. So I need to recategorize the wig section because it's starting to get out of control.
I just was wondering that. Anyway.
Yeah, so I grabbed a handful of wigs here, and basically what we do in this segment is you're going to choose a wig for me to wear, and I'm going to choose a wig for you to wear.
Great.
And we're going to figure out who these people are once we put these things on, and then we might do a scene or something.
Sure.
This looks weirdly natural.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I can see it, Oh, the hat. There you go.
It went from girl to like super surfer
Jay
bro,
and
like
Silent
real quick.
Bob. Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey.
Oh, dude.
Hey, dude. Hey. What's going on, dude?
Right.
I think you okay, so let's figure out who these people are, okay?
Totally, dude.
Okay, so we can either I think we're like close to a beach somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe
right?
Venice?
Okay, let's say we're at Venice.
All right.
Okay, so we're here at Venice Beach, and I think we are about to maybe we're the clerks at a medical marijuana dispensary.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're the dudes who wear those green crosses.
Yeah.
And we try to get people to come in, and it's a slow day.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
All right. And
Let's
you're
do it,
okay. What do you think my name is? What do you think?
Your name?
Yeah, dude.
Bryson.
Bryson. Bryson's a pretty good name, dude.
Yeah,
Bryson's a pretty good name. Okay. I think that your name is Laramie. I think that's freaking good.
Is that the cigarettes from like The Simpsons or something?
I know it's there's a Laramie project, but that's a completely different play.
Laramie and Bryson.
But I feel like Laramie and Bryson are a couple of people who just like get it, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Right? Okay, so it's slow day. We're in Venice Beach, and we're just shooting it, you know?
Yeah, just shooting
Just
it, bro.
shooting it. Dude, Laramie, we gotta get more customers inside this. Otherwise, we're gonna get fired, dude.
Bryson, I don't know what's going on, bro. I mean, we're talking to them. We're letting them know the good word about the good plant that we like, and they're just not fucking doing it.
Dude, I feel like we need to freaking like work on like our tactics on getting people in. Like, I think our like initiation line, like you want weed, is like not strong enough, dude.
Well, but it's so direct and to the point.
See, that's what I thought initially, dude. But I think that sometimes like it like scares people because like the connotation with the word weed is like sometimes like still harsh for some people, you know?
Yeah. So what should we say?
I think maybe we should say something like, do you suffer from back pain?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like maybe
so take
like
a medical.
Yeah, let's go like the more medical route rather than like the literal route. You know?
Is insomnia something that you or your family might be suffering from,
dude?
Currently,
yes, yeah. Say that to a woman as she walks by, curious, looking at the different T-shirts around us in Venice.
All right. Hey, lady, are you tired sometimes? And then you suffer from insomnia. She's picking up her pace and walking faster.
Okay, it's all right. I think that was a pretty good one though, dude. Hey, are you gonna be competing in the World Hacky Sack competition that's going on next week in the tournament?
I appreciate you remembering, dude.
Yeah, dude. Well, you freaking you placed last year, dude. You freaking placed last year.
I can sack, dude.
You can sack, dude.
I can sack
you
if I got it.
Sack, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've been working with the trainer. It's looking good,
dude.
You know?
What's your trainer look like, dude?
Bro, he's one of the best. I mean, he's fucking dude. You didn't know him? He's all pro. His name is Jehovian.
Oh, Jehovian. He's like a walking dreadlock, dude. I love that guy. He's good, dude.
He's tubular.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so we're going to go up right near Santa Monica, do the sack, and then that'll be it, bro.
Yeah, dude. I love his lifestyle. Just like kind of chilling and just like it's kind of a dream job because like they say don't take your work home with you, but dude, when you work in the weed business, it's like, what are you going to do, man?
You got to take it home, bro.
What are you going to do,
I can't take the earth home with me?
Come on, it's part of the earth, dude.
Yeah,
it's like, that's my Captain Planet, dude. I'm like the earth guy, man.
Oh, yeah, the dude who doesn't heart.
Dude, I'm freaking crying. I don't know why, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know if I got like.
You sick?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a sativa, like free. I don't know if it's like. Did somebody dose me, dude? I'm freaking.
See, your CBD, THC levels are all messed up, bro.
I don't know what's happening right now. I'm getting like super emotional, dude.
No, you all right?
I think I'm questioning whether or not like this is really me as a person because like I sometimes struggle with identity because like since I don't have a personality, sometimes I just associate weed for my entire life, and then people just kind of write me off as a pothead, and I think it's starting to get to me, dude.
Bryson, you're so much more than a pothead, dude. I mean, you have.
What do you know about me? Like seriously, Laramie. Like, can you name 3 things about me that aren't associated with weed or hacky sack or munchies, bro?
Well, I mean, I've seen you serve. That's maybe.
Dude, that's still, I can barely serve, and that's still in the Venn diagram of smoking weed, man.
You had what was that other thing? You had those weed. Those were weed brownies you were selling.
Dude, yeah, man. Can you name 3 things about me, dude? I'm having a freaking.
Okay.
I'm having a quarter-life crisis right now. Like everything's coming down on me right now, man.
Just chill. Okay. You have sandals on, so that's.
That's just something about my physical appearance, man.
Right.
Like everything that you're saying is reinforcing like exactly what I'm finding out about myself.
Dude, this is a trip, man. I don't know.
This isn't even my real voice, man.
No.
This isn't.
What?
Yeah.
What's your voice?
Hello.
No. No.
This is what I actually sound like.
No.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
But I can't offer people marijuana with this voice working at a dispensary.
Yeah, dude.
I
Go
can't.
with that, man.
I
That's,
can't.
Dude.
Would you like some sticky, icky green?
Oh, yeah,
You
dude.
see, man, nobody wants to buy from that
Yeah,
guy,
but
dude. I'm freaking freaking out, dude.
Dude, you sound so much more official, bro. It's like you're a doctor.
I can heal all of your ailments.
Oh,
You
dude.
think I can become a doctor?
Yeah, you sound one better than me, dude. I love that voice.
Well, okay, maybe.
Yeah, embrace it.
Embrace it?
Embrace it,
Okay,
dude.
maybe I asked this woman
Yeah.
over here.
Excuse
Do
me.
you suffer from back pain? Do you suffer from chronic?
Are you sure?
Dude, I don't know Dr. Woods, man. I don't know Dr. Woods. She left,
God
man.
damn it. Well, she looked scared because you kind of stroked out
I
for a
did
little
stroke
bit.
out, dude, because I'm freaking out, man. I gotta reevaluate my life.
Dude, I think we're going to be just fine.
You know what? I like that.
The thing I got to tell
went for
you
it.
that I really respect about you is I think I'm good. I fancy myself a person who can be good with voices, but I've realized my limitations, and that is I think I can do just about any impression for 7 words. And then after that,
then
I can't.
It goes back into Feeney.
It's diminishing returns, yeah, or it starts to morph and change as it did a number of times during that. But I think you have the ability to sustain that and really stay in it, which is a very difficult trait. You know, it's not just about the voice.
I think it's partly I'm crazy in some ways because I go somewhere that I don't know. I don't know where I go with my head. Like when I'm there, everything else is gone.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
see,
know.
I start overthinking. I start being like, how would they pronounce this word? You know what I mean? And then it
yeah.
all, once you start, it's that kind of that
Oh
thing.
yeah. Once you're out of it, it's one of those things like when you're doing stand up on stage and you start thinking about other things and you're not being present and you start thinking about, oh, I just tripped up on that last word.
Right.
You start overthinking the analytical part of stand up. You're like,
It's
before
over.
long, you're like, oh, I'm not being funny. I'm thinking about how I'm not doing well right now.
Right, yeah, 100%.
But
Yeah, that's, but yeah, no, man, it's a testament to you and to be able to just do that, man. It's great.
that was fun.
Yeah, dude.
I enjoyed that, man. What a silly goose time. What a little fun release.
Yeah, dude. I'm still just laughing thinking about your house and like you like open a closet and then like, you know, I picture you just shoving everything and then slamming. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Like,
yeah.
opening it and just a mound of things come out.
Yeah, every time I try to close the door, it's like
That'd be great if you just have the funny sound effects, you know, hitting the, you know, certain things, the closet door.
yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man.
Oh, hell yeah.
I got to tell you, this thing has changed my life.
Well, you know, that was one of the things that we were going over when we were chilling while we were getting some technical kinks worked out was this bad boy right here. And, you know, we have the more masculine version of Mike Feeney on the show right now.
Yeah.
And I think I'd like to talk to him, actually, for a moment.
Oh, I'm right here.
Oh, man. This sounds nothing. You're, not to diss the original Mike Feeney, the guy who's my friend who I know and love, but your voice is drastically lower. Have you been taking, like, you know, HGH or, like, what's going on?
I've been watching a lot of Michael Bay films and stuff with The Rock, mostly things with The Rock. So
Okay, cool. What's
kinda
your?
happens.
Did you see that one Rock movie where there's like a building and he only has one leg? And this is a real Rock movie, by the way, that I saw in theaters.
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper.
Of course I
Did you
saw
saw that? Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, man.
That's why my voice is this way. you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you know, if you commit yourself to the Rock's religion, then you start becoming more manly and you start working out and stuff.
Oh, 100. And I'm also eating 4,000 calories every Sunday on my cheat day.
Oh
which is
yeah,
what he does.
I saw that you ate cookies, and can I just say it was so cute on your Instagram when I saw, the Rock eating cookies. It was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I do eat them like a little squirrel, but I ate 4,000.
Wait, I'm starting to think that this isn't Mike Feeney's like more masculine side. This is The Rock.
If you're smell what I'm cooking, you know?
Oh, man, dude.
Here's the thing. I can't be around in public anymore as The Rock. People know me. It's a tough situation. I got a family I'm trying to protect. Sometimes I go undercover as Mike Feeney's deep voice.
Really?
Yeah.
This is fascinating. Do you have any other projects in the works? The Rock? Do I call you Rock or The Rock when I'm referring to you?
You can call
Or
me.
can I call you Dwayne?
You can call me Dwayne Rock. Actually.
Okay. I still need to include the Rock part, though.
It's a branding issue at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where if they don't put the Rock on something, there's going to be a lot of people who don't know that Dwayne Johnson, who that guy is.
Right. It's a very boring name that I should have changed immediately upon entering show business.
Well, what about Ludacris? I mean, I feel like he's kind of in a similar boat with, you guys have to put your your nicknames in the middle of your name. Chris Ludacris Bridges, is that right?
I have no idea what his actual name is, but I think that we're getting a thumbs up.
Yeah, I got a thumbs up from.
Yeah.
We have a black panel over here behind the glasses. Just like this is like.
Hell yeah!
Whenever I get anything right from black culture, it's just a thumbs up and like, yeah, man.
What is his name?
Chris Ludacris Bridges.
See, now he should call himself Ludacris Bridges.
Oh, Luda
Obvious.
Chris Bridges.
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously, Luda.
Yeah. I'll be that.
Ooh, and a blueberry yum yum and it's all good.
Ludacris, one of the most underrated rappers. So funny. One of the funniest rappers of all time.
I mean, he's solid, man.
Incredible.
And you guys were in the Fast and Furious movies together, right?
We were. We had a little overlap there, but yeah, I love Fast and the Furious. I love driving. I love anything where I get to punch and throw people through things is kind of, that's my vertical.
Oh, you know what's really strange is one of your co-stars is actually I'm gonna patch him through. We have crystal clear audio, actually, new technology of the way people Skype into the show sometimes.
Oh,
and your co-star of a movie that you came out with recently, which was a spin-off of Fast and Furious, Jason Statham.
Yes.
Is actually
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw. See, you know what's up. Statham is actually I'm gonna patch him through into the show.
Oh,
right now.
Please. Get him in.
Is this The Rock?
Hey, Jace, what up, bro?
I mean, I told you not to call me Jace anymore, but I mean, you're so large, I guess I'll let you have that.
Yeah. Well, I do kind of get my way a lot, but you're no joke either. You look like you know a lot of...
You see, I'm a shorter guy, but I will kill you. I'll crush you with your own eyeball.
It's something about your ego is a little out of whack because you're so short, but you make up for it in aggression.
Well, guess what? I've got little man syndrome, and I've got to prove myself over and over. And even though you're much larger than me, and it doesn't make sense at all that we could actually sustain a fight in real time together, I like that we've made multiple movies out of our relationship fighting with one another.
I think we check off just about every box that you need. It's male, testosterone, short guy, big guy, brown guy, white guy, British guy, punch guy. How about that?
See, I think all of those provide great ratings for box office hits.
They really do.
They
Women not interested so much in the demographic, except for the fight scenes where we have our shirts off.
Well, right. Then we got then we check off a whole new box of lists right over there. We've got squirters, we've got lovers, we've got huggers, we've got fighters.
Did you say squirters?
Yes, that was my first one.
Okay.
As soon as they see both of us oiled up with our shirts off,
Right.
they just lose their bloody minds in their pants.
Yeah.
They just start spraying like one of them fire hydrants in a Spike Jonze movie.
It's their rock bottom.
That is their rock bottom.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a good time catching up with you. I mean, I could talk to you
Always
so
a pleasure.
long.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Until
Always.
our next movie, which comes out in probably 2 to 3 weeks.
Actually, Hobbs and Shaw 2, 3, 4, and 5 is in post-production right now.
I love the plot line of Hobbs and Shaw 5, where you're just on the other side of a brick wall, and I have to punch it through, and then you have to do kicks towards the wall, and whoever gets to the other side first wins.
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw, Rocky Road is the sequel coming out. Hobbs and Shaw 3, things are getting a little more rocky. It's coming out real soon. And also, let's see here, Hobbs and Shaw 4. Do you remember the title on that one?
It was something along the lines of Punch to Death, but I'm not sure. It'd still be a working title.
It's a working title.
Yeah,
Okay.
Punch to Death.
I'll get that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I gotta go, all right?
All right, good talking to you.
I love you, Rocky boy.
All right, bye.
Did he say "Love you, Rocky"? Bye.
I think he did.
Oh wow.
Is The Rock still here?
Jeremiah clearly trying to exit the bit, and I'm just like, "Oh, The Rock is still here." Okay, well, I guess I'll have to talk with him a little bit longer. Interesting.
It is fun when that picks up because it does sound like there's a studio audience. It just sounds like there's a deep voiced man laughing
just
on the side of the cut.
Yeah.
We just laugh near it. Yay! Wow, we're doing great.
Yeah, the one deep voice slow guy is here in the vicinity.
Dude, man, yeah, it's Jason Statham to me was always one of those guys where what was that movie he did where he like got injected with like an adrenaline thing and he had to keep his heart rate up?
That was called Crank.
Crank, yes,
One
dude.
of my favorite films.
What a great film that was. I mean, not really, but
If I don't keep my blood pressure and heart rate above this amount, this bomb will explode inside my body. It's like the movie Speed, but with a human being in my body. It's Jason Statham.
It's literally like they went in and they were like, well, we got to make an action movie. People loved Speed, and what if, and they're like, Speed? Wait a minute.
But what if we put it in a human body?
What if we put speed in his body and then he needs to be going at a certain rate? You know, it's like, okay. Really, really thin plot line, but
Step over, Keanu Reeves. You're a little bitch compared to me.
Dude.
A bus, very easy. My body, much harder.
A Jason Statham John Wick fight would be
man, that's
awesome.
Got to happen. Well, dude, they already set up John Wick 4.
Did they?
Yeah, I mean, without giving anything away, like he doesn't die at the end of John Wick 3, so they're gonna keep coming after him somehow. Which John Wick 3, I watched on a plane. That movie should not be allowed to watch on a plane.
Yeah.
It is so violent. I'm just like watching him like just like twist people's arms off and like decapitate people. And
dude, I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on the flight. And again, also don't want to give spoilers, but that last scene.
The last scene is so graphic.
It's so graphic, but also like really, really funny.
It's so funny in a
like
weird,
dark,
sick way.
So people that are not watching the movie and haven't seen it around the flight, it's like 9 a.m. and they're seeing me laugh, like belly laugh at men, at just like a brutal murder. Like it's just so.
So you're that plane guy who laughs out loud at the movie?
Well, I'm not trying to, but it's just so fun. Yeah. You're like, I see.
Oh, it's in my headphones.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Are you guys seeing this?
This is so good.
I'm elbowing the person next to me.
Yeah.
I love it. That's the best. That's the one thing I will say. People who don't put their shade down on a daytime
Criminals.
air flight, and there's sometimes if you recline, you'll get like a window and a half, and then some people feel like maybe that window belongs to the person behind me. I don't know who's real estate. Just make an executive decision and close that. Just go ahead and close it because nobody wants it open. Ever.
Nope.
No one.
Never.
Not one person. We were, Mike, my podcast co-host, Mike Cannon and I were flying to Chicago to do shows, and he was so tired because he's got a newborn kid. He's not sleeping much, and he's to the whole time he's like, I just can't wait to sleep on this flight. I'm going to sleep the whole time. And we're not sitting in the same row. I'm a few behind him. I immediately knock out. I wake up from this nap just right before we get to Chicago. I'm like yawning, I'm stretching, and then I look up and he has, I look at his row, and it's the only row in the entire plane where the person has kept their shade up and the sun is going directly into his. I see him with he's got his hood up. He's trying to block out the light, but it looks like he's under like an ant under a magnifying glass.
Yeah, it's
like
just
it is
going right.
It is as if someone's holding a flashlight right here, and he did not sleep 3 minutes on that flight, which was it made me laugh so hard because I was like, I'm not even going to sleep. And then I was like, oh, I took a little nappy poo. I'm so well rested. And he's like, I hate you.
Dude, I had a window seat on a flight where a guy was in the middle seat next to me. He leans over me and pulls up my window.
Oh, no. Now that.
And, dude, I looked back at this guy.
Yeah.
Immediately, and I go,
yeah.
I closed it in his freaking face, dude.
Of course, as you should. I mean,
My window.
that is grounds for getting the air marshal, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bing bong. Oh, excuse me. Hi, we have a terrorist right next to me.
Yeah, exactly. You just start screaming bomb.
Yeah, he's a terrorist. Okay. Yeah. Really freak people out.
He's a shade terrorist. That's what it is.
Yeah, shade terrorist. I wonder if you say the word terrorist on a flight, how easily you'll get kicked off.
I think it would be context, but I think for sure there would be some rabbit ears immediately. Like people would be focusing on you.
Yeah.
You know, but also like I don't think terrorists.
Oh, I'm sorry. I want another Sprite. Am I a Sprite terrorist?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay,
get on
buddy.
the ground. Get on the ground. Yeah. I don't think that you can. I don't think terrorists call themselves terrorists. You know what I mean? So
they're like that cognizant. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, no one's gonna be like, I'm a terrorist. You know,
I'm a good guy. I made him Russian for some reason. Listen, I
am good man.
Listen,
yes.
I fight for our country.
I know about you. I know about your Donald, and I am no terrorist.
It's
no.
not a big deal. I fight for the right side.
Oh no, me and Gilos, we fight.
Yeah, Gilos. Gilos is a great name. Yeah, this is my cousin, Gilos.
Gilos. It just sounds like a man who could just snap your neck in 3 different ways.
Gilos, yeah, my name is Kraknov, yes.
Yeah, crack. Anything with that K, that little Kraknov.
Crack.
No,
Yeah.
Kraknov. Fuck, Russians have cool fucking names.
They do.
Man. Mike is such a fucking 80s, like late 80s.
Is your full name Michael?
Yeah. This is how lazy my naming was. My dad's name is Thomas Michael Feeney, and they wanted to be like a Thomas Jr., and my mom was like, nope, not doing that. And then so they just switched the name. So I'm Michael Thomas and he's Thomas Michael. That's how much thought went into it. It was like, we don't want to come up with a name, let's just call him my name. No? Okay, how about I'll call him my second name and then we'll give him the middle
Let's do the
name.
reverse real quick.
Yeah, there was no like originality. What's the most popular name in America right now? Mike? Perfect. That's who he is forever.
What's your heritage?
I am. My dad's 100% Irish, and my mom is like a mutt.
He's a green blood, man.
Yeah, he really is. And then my mom is a mutt, so she got like German, Czechoslovakian, Holland, Dutch. Just all those like Western European countries that are all in the middle there. Just pick like a handful of them and throw them in a blender, and that's essentially what I am. So
heck yeah.
But yeah, it's predominantly Irish.
How much did you get? Because we both grew up in the era of TGIF. Was it nonstop with you getting yelled Feeney at you, like from Boy Meets World?
100%. And also, there's a couple. This is a hot.
Feeney.
This is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but I did not like that show, and I also wanted to like that show.
Oh, it looks like the black panel is back.
Oh, hell no.
Wow, they did not like that you said that you did not like Boy Meets World. But continue.
It was one of those shows where I'm like, I don't know what year it came out or my age, but I remember watching it going like, this is too cheese dicky for me right now. You know what I mean? Like it was a little too schmaltzy, a little too like I don't like the lessons had to be learned every single time. I was always like a cartoon guy.
What were your
growing
cartoons?
Up. I mean, I grew up in like the height of Nickelodeon, so it was everything from like Ren and Stimpy to like even like Doug, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, like all of those kind of like all those cartoons were my jam, and then Cartoon Network had just come out, so they had, like Dexter's Lab and all those things.
I used to have very short hair like yours, and I had like buzzed on the side, like a 2 on the sides, and then like I'd push my hair up in the front with some gel. There would be some people at school that are like, man, you look like Doug. I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like Doug.
Doug is there's so many great lines in that show. That and like Rocko's Modern Life too. Rocko's Modern Life is like an adult. That and Ren and Stimpy were like adult cartoons that if you go back and watch now.
A lot of hidden stuff.
The innuendos are
a lot of innuendo. Off the charts.
Yeah.
Like what they can get through, like over people's heads, like with innuendo. Like that's what makes movies so good, like Shrek and different stuff like that. Those DreamWorks movies and Pixar is they put so much innuendo where the kids are they're just happy to be there and the parents are like, well, this is funny.
Same for Simpsons,
like Lego Batman and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah,
those are great.
Dude, like Simpsons was I guess my number one, and that was like the height of great Simpsons too. And that to me, I've been going back and watching like seasons 4 through 10 or 11 where it was really just they were hitting. Conan was there for a while writing and stuff, and just the jokes per minute, the writing efficiency is great, the adult humor on it. I was like, I remember laughing at this as a kid and not even knowing why, but just knowing that like, oh, this is a funny thing, I think. It's so weird.
Yeah.
You can laugh at innuendo without even getting the reference.
Well, also, yeah, you look around too, and you want to be in on it. Like when other people are laughing, you're like, "Oh, this is funny."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the first imposter syndrome you face is
Yeah.
watching cartoons. And
Yeah,
your adult parents are laughing, and you're like, "Okay,
Oh
I'm
no,
with
no,
you
this
guys."
is comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get this sexual reference.
Are you from New York?
Yeah, I'm from right outside New York City in Long Island. So I was in the suburbs. It was still like a bike. I always say it's like, we were a weird middle class. Like, we weren't like we had a pool, but we had like an above ground pool, so we were trash. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, my neighbors.
Oh, what the? Somebody is getting fired for putting up that graphic. Wow. You're just going to call me out. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Son of a gun.
Hey, Skeeter.
There it is.
I remember there was a line, Roger. It was.
You can take it down.
Yeah.
You can take it down. It was up for too long.
Dude, I remember there was a thing from Doug, and it's from the pilot. It's from the pilot episode of Doug, where he's in a fight with Roger Klotz, the fucking bully, and Roger says a thing like he makes fun of Doug, and then he says something along the lines of being like, he whatever he says, he insults Doug, and then he like cackles at it, and then Doug just says in the most like transparent, like cut through, biting response I've ever heard. He just goes, Roger, if you were funny, you wouldn't have to laugh at your own jokes. And I was like, oh my! I remember as a kid being like, God damn! Like shots fired.
God damn.
Whoa, the panel is loving that.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
It was one of those things where I'm like, oh man, like if you were Roger
biting.
in that moment, that's one of those things where you go like, ha 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 ha, and then like later on you go home and you're like, man, he's right. That really cut deep,
Yeah, you start looking up. Hello, darkness,
my old friend. Yeah, that was I remember that line forever though, because it's like, Jesus Christ.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
I want to get into this next segment.
Sure. Segment it up.
Yeah, it's called Fanning Out.
Love it.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
Didn't have it. That's fine.
I was keeping quiet in case you were cutting this post. I didn't want to.
No.
Didn't want to throw out any pearls.
I'm leaving it in because guess what? Gage and Anthony and CJ, who are behind the glass, turned their back on the host. Yep. They put up a freaking Doug image next to me. Guess what? We've never done a side-by-side image live on the show before.
Yeah.
They learned the technology. They studied it and applied it to freaking roast me on my own show in front of my good friend Mike Feeney, whose album you can get on iTunes right now.
Hell yeah.
It's #1, Rage Against the Routine. Do you want to do any other plugs right now, Mike?
Sure. I mean, I would love you to listen to Irish Goodbye Podcast or check out MikeFeeneyComedy.com or follow me on social media at I am Mike Feeney. As a friend of yours, I'm upset for you at the lack of disrespect, the lack of respect.
I'm seeing red right now, Mike. I don't even know if I can host the rest of this show.
I believe in you. You can do it, but just listen. If you can't, I'll understand. Yeah. The Doug thing was crazy. I mean,
it was so fast.
And I got to be honest, I don't want to hurt, our relationship in any way. But if I'm being honest, I see it. I see it. I see it.
You know what? The questions are gone.
Oh, no.
I typed up all those questions this morning. I copy and pasted from my Instagram to Twitter. Stagehand, get me my paper I just threw. Give me that paper. You better bring your buttocks in here right now. Don't show your face. Just hand in the frame. Yeah, that's right. Look down at the ground.
There we go.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Guess what? Jeremiah got hot this episode. Guess what? Mike came in hot from New York, and Jeremiah got hotter in L.A.
You picked up that New York rage. I love it.
So what was your family life like?
Oh, it was...
No, that's not one of the questions.
I was like,
just
that's
thought
such
it
a
would-
heavy...
I know, but I thought it would be a great contrast. Okay, this comes from... people also ask questions and as well as character suggestions.
Okay.
I like this one from Irritated Tomcat on Instagram. Have you ever done a show with one of your comedy heroes outside of like a comedy festival?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in New York, you're always on. There's so many amazing comedians in New York. I mean, my heroes, growing up and stuff were like, George Carlin and Jerry Seinfeld and stuff. But I also really loved, like comedic actors like Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, those guys who were very big and stuff. But I've been on shows with Seinfeld before, obviously in New York, and that is just it's a crazy. Actually, this is crazy. My first time ever doing stand-up comedy in New York City was at Gotham Comedy Club. I used to just do like those little like bringer shows when I first started, and then I didn't work there. But years later, I started working there. So this was kind of like my their first time seeing me in maybe 7 years of doing comedy. So now I want to bring the heat. I'm featuring for Robert Kelly, who's just an absolute one of the best comedians, and I'm featuring for him. It's sold out at Gotham Comedy Club. I think seats 250, 300 people. And I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, I just want to make a good impression. I want to get in at this club. I want to do a good job for, opening for Robert. And I'm like, the host is about to go on stage to bring me on. And right before I do, Jerry walks in and they're immediately like, Jerry's going to go on before you, which it's like, I mean, if you're not in the comedy world, I'll explain the level of when a person of that size and magnitude comes in and then you have to follow them. It's like one of those surfing videos where there's the 200-foot wave and then you're just the guy who gets like flung in on the jet ski and you just got to kind of hold and hope. So he comes in, he walks up to a standing ovation, of course, because he's Seinfeld. He does 20 minutes and, I mean, murders.
Yeah.
And then just goes, all right, have a good night, and then leaves to a standing ovation. The entire place, the room is buzzing. It's just this audible, like the ground is lava kind of And then and another comedian friend of mine is with me, and he is howling laughing because as comedians, we get this sick pleasure of watching our friends.
The sickest pleasure.
Of knowing our friends are going to bomb.
We laugh at our friends not doing well on stage harder than we've ever laughed when they're killing.
Oh, 100%.
Every single time.
If you're at a comedy show and people are, and so the comic on stage is bombing, but there's a lot of laughter coming from the back, that's their friends who are comedians. Yeah. And so my friend's like, dude, you're gonna bomb. You're gonna eat it so bad, dude. This is crazy. And so I'm, sweating, I'm peeing, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then they bring me up and, I don't remember what the first thing I said, but I was like, I can't, Jerry Seinfeld was here. And then they clap one more time for Jerry. And I was like, you guys want to see him do one more joke? And then they all went crazy. And I was like, you know what? Let's bring him back out of here. Jerry, get back up here. But of course, Jerry had already left the building. So they got so excited thinking that he was going to, I could bring him back on. I was like, no, he's gone, you guys. And then they thankfully laughed. And I proceeded to have, I'm not kidding, the best set of the entire year that I had.
Whoa.
So there's two ways that it could go. You could either have a bomb fest where you'll never follow them, or you could ride that wave that they had. And I think it was just because he was unannounced that they were so happy that they got to see him that I could have been just soft shoeing up there and they would have loved anything that I did. So it thankfully worked out well, which doesn't make for a great story because now I just sound like this asshole. I was like, and then I followed Seinfeld and did okay.
I followed Seinfeld and it wasn't a problem at all.
But now I work at Gotham Comic Club. But no, following Seinfeld was great. But I've also been on shows with other, super famous. I followed Bird 2 nights ago in New York, and that was tough because he's just so great, and he puts the audience in such a, he really twists them, he makes them feel uncomfortable, and then I gotta come up and go up afterwards, and then that was a hole to dig out of. I gotta be honest.
I follow probably one of the hardest I've had to follow was CK in his prime.
Oh,
at the height of his fame, I followed him in the OR at the Comedy Store. He unannounced pop in, came in. And it was very difficult.
I mean, when he did the thing at Skankfest, that was. Michael Che had to follow him, and I think Che's first line was like, "I only agreed because Louis murdered," and he's like, "I only agreed to let him go up because I thought we all still hated him," which is like such a funny line to say.
That's really funny.
But of course, Che killed anyway. So
yeah, that's awesome. So this one comes from. This is just a weird question.
Okay.
At JTesus on Instagram. Would you rather have to walk like a crab for 15 minutes a day or only be able to poop standing up?
Oh, that's so easy to me. I would definitely walk like a crab for 15 minutes a day because that's poop standing up is, well, first off, the crab thing, it seems like a good workout. You know, I'm working on the tris. You know what I mean? Get a little tricep workout. It seems like it's like some sort of. It depends if I'd have to do it in public or not. I mean, that would be kind of terrifying.
I'd like to do it in the.
If I have to if I have to go to the bus.
Safety of my own home.
Yeah, if I'm on the subway looking like a Ring, the character from The Ring, but if I could just walk 15 minutes a day, I think that would be a good little tricep day. And pooping standing up is an absolute. Can you imagine a worse nightmare? You can't even squat. So you have to it'll immediately cake into your ass cheeks, and now you got shit all over. It's going to land on your legs.
Well, here's the thing, though. If you're pooping standing up, like think about horses and stuff. They get really good at it where they're just trotting along and they're able to just poop willy-nilly, and they never wipe their butts. Not that they smell great, but
but they have the tail to kind of waft it away.
Is that what
the tail's always doing?
Is that what it's for? Just,
the tail is the do not go in there. Yeah. But also, here's the thing. One thing horses don't do that I do is drink coffee. So horses have dry... horses have dry, grassy shits. Mine would be like...
projectiles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
The people in my immediate vicinity would really pay a price.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, it would have to be a different society all of a sudden. The toilets would have to be like more like
standing
the urinals.
Yeah,
standing urinals.
I saw a guy take a shit in a urinal before.
It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it's
it never is not funny.
Yeah. But then you always go, you didn't bring toilet paper, so you didn't wipe.
Yeah.
So that's a weird.
I remember seeing my buddy in high school poop in a urinal, like me walking in on the bathroom and him having his penis stuck behind his legs and him being the kid that pooped in the urinal, and then like the janitor. I mean, obviously the custodians get so mad because you can't flush a poop in the urinal, so they have to go in with a glove like it's a largemouth bass, and they're scooping it out of the water.
The confidence that you have to have too to lay a log on a urinal is, you got to be that level of a prank. Like
Yeah.
I love pranks and stuff like that. But
I never went that ham in school with it.
Well, because there's no. That's just like there's not a lot of. There's more victims than there are.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of positive feedback. Like, dude, that was hilarious. This is like literally you're just doing it because you're a psychopath.
Yeah, it just smells like shit in here now, and now I have to like pee blast your shit away. It's gonna take me so many pees to really break this up and get it. And it's a lot of victims in that crime.
Okay. This one comes from @CTK49er on Twitter. Jeremiah, can he beat you in one-on-one in basketball? Do you play basketball?
I do play basketball. I actually just played. I was in the New York Comedy Festival. We did a charity basketball tournament with a bunch of comedians. It was amazing. It was like Gary Gulman was there, and like Mike Cannon, my partner, and I did my life partner and I. We did that, but there were so many great comedians that played, and we realized real quick that playing full court 12-minute quarters is too much for comedians. Because even the most in shape comedian. I mean, the final score was 66-63, and we must have taken a total of 456 shots because there was like 11 air balls. People are dry heaving. Someone went to puke at one point. I mean, it was a scene, man. It was a lot of the first 4 minutes of the first quarter, nobody scored a basket. It was just like Little League. And like you watch like T-ball, baseball, and like, there's like all the 5-year-olds playing, and no matter where the 5-year-old hits the T-ball, every position runs after the ball. It could be a dribbler on the infield and the center fielder is running in to get the ball. Like, that's what it looked like. It was like Bad News Bears, but for basketball. But I can play a little bit. I'm good at defense. But you feel like you'd be good too because you get a lot of rebounds. Like maybe you probably have the same game.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
We'll have to play sometime.
I love it. Let's do it.
How is Gary Gulman? He used to play in like college.
He's great. And here's the thing about Gary that's so funny. It's like Gary was also doing like commentary while playing, which is so fun.
Yeah.
And he kept leaning in and saying things anytime he was, on the bench, like, 'cause, we rotated out. But one of the times, so Gary Gulman tweets out like kind of like a comedy tip for people every single day. That's like his thing that he's, been known for this year doing. And at one point early in the game, someone tried to pass the ball to a different teammate, and he just tried to steal it, but instead he kind of like just got it right off the end of his fingertips, and then we got the ball back. And as we're running back down on a fast break towards the other side of the court, he just goes, "That's a Gulman tip for you." Like he just starts immediately. And he's like, "I'll tweet that out." Like, you know, so he's adding bits. His contact fell out, and he's like, "I'm okay. Most people wouldn't have been okay, but I'm okay. I was able to put it back in without the solution."
He's just killing.
Yeah. He was
just in between.
Yeah, he was
all the
really.
plays.
He was murder. Yeah, he's great.
That's great. This one comes from. Oh, there's a lot of good ones. Somebody said, I don't know, I guess this is a character suggestion from acrylic_thumbs on Twitter. I think they want you to be a Disney prince.
A Disney prince?
I think you have that look about you. That's what they are thinking.
Well, that was funny too, because somebody at Kill Tony, that comedian David Lucas that had a great set. He was like, we had a little roast back and forth there, and then at one point he just started saying things that I was taking as compliments. Where he's like, "Man, you look like the star in a soap opera," and I was like, "Oh,
the people that make tons of money."
Yeah, I was like, "That sounds. You're saying I'm attractive?" He's like, "You look like the lead singer of a boy band." I'm like, all of this.
Okay,
I'm not taking any of this personally.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
What did they say it was again?
Disney Prince.
Disney Prince. Oh man, I feel like I could be a Disney. They're always like, isn't it weird that Disney princes, they always have a thing where they're a little clumsy? Do you notice that a lot with the Disney princes?
Yeah, they're kind of bumbling.
Yeah, but they always have that smooth talking, like, "Hey, how are you?" But at the same time, I guess I go right to Aladdin, but even though he's a
So I'm a princess. I'm singing, and then you approach me.
Okay, yeah, let's do this. Hey there, princess. You know, you have a beautiful voice.
Hello there.
Oh, did you learn that song by yourself, or did you make that up?
I taught myself all those notes.
Wow, that's incredible. And I noticed that your little parrot that you have with you is pretty good. It's pretty good. It seems like not many princesses have parrots.
Well, it is my spirit animal, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You like to perch a lot, then.
Yes. Well, that's why I'm up here in this castle. I wish a big, strong man could get me out of here.
Well, if I find one, I'll let you know. I'm just kidding. I'm a prince, so I don't have physical powers, but my. Well, could you translate what the parrot said? I don't speak.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give you my pussy tonight.
Boy, I mean, that was wildly convenient, and to be honest...
Go down on him! Oh, well, okay, I guess he learned a few things. I've been so lonely. I haven't had any male interaction in so many years. I've just been dreaming about my prince.
I did promise that parrot the right to all of Macedonia if he was able to put in a good word.
Suck his dick from the back.
Thank you.
Stop it, you. I'm so sorry. My imagination goes wild in this castle. I've been so locked up for so long. Would you please come up and rescue me? This dragon is just circling around the castle.
Oh,
and I hope that he gets
whoa.
out of here so fast.
You didn't say anything about a dragon now. I mean, listen, princess. I mean,
he's got a big fat pussy. Okay, I don't know where this is
fat
coming
pussy.
from.
I feel like this. You're sort of trying to entrap me, is what it feels like, because you got the parrot luring me up with the siren song of the thing, and now, yeah. But now there's a dragon. You didn't say anything about vesting a dragon.
He lives in the back of the mountain, silly. So he's sleeping. He's been sleeping for centuries. Come get me.
Could you? Now I don't want to be rude here. I don't want to put you on the spot. But could you? Because the parrot seems to be telling the truth. Could you ask the parrot if it's worth slaying this dragon for, the giant pussy that you...
Okay, he heard you.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay, he's nodding. Mm-hmm.
Okay, nodding's a good
Okay,
sign.
He's thinking about it. She'll let you fist your butt if you come up here. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this.
Fisting the butt. All right, let's show me this dragon, goddammit. I'm ready.
I said he's sleeping.
I'm ready.
Come get
That's
me.
the perfect time to vanquish him when he's sleeping.
Okay, he's up in the mountain. She's gonna go finger herself.
Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna go.
I mean, this is the show.
This is it. This is it, man. This is our animated series about the princess who's way too filthy for
Disney.
For Disney.
Yeah.
Welcome to Disney Plus XXX.
Yeah, imagine that's what the channel is.
The extended porn scenes from Disney that you wish would have been on the network, but now it's all streaming.
Have you ever taken your kid to a Disney film and thought, hey, that princess is kind of hot. I wonder if she's had a filthy mouth. Well, now, don't worry. Yeah. That's just how she comes.
Yeah. You know what, guys? It went off the rails as soon as you put up that dog image.
Yeah.
I got in a weird place. I got in a weird... Son of a gun. How dare you do this to me right now? This is so... There it is. This is so... That is so...
I mean,
This is
incredible.
so infuriating. Look at me. I'm angry Doug right now. Oh my.
It's supposed to be Skeeter, but it just was a truck barreling down a highway.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh man. Let's do this last question. And then we'll get into the final segment, which is freaking sax talk.
Oh, I love sax talk.
Yeah, it's that good. This is that good. Before we do this last question, though, guys, I'd like to tell you that you should come see me in St. Louis at Helium Comedy Club, November 29th through 30th, if you're in the area.
Great club.
Kill Tony's going on tour in Ohio in December, and then I'll be headlining in Kansas City at the Kansas City Comedy Club December 19th through 21st, and Chicago, Zany's Rosemont, January 2nd through 4th. I'm headlining there, and we've got more Kill Tony's coming up in Houston, Calgary, and Buffalo, New York just got added. I'm headlining February 6th through 8th, Buffalo, New York.
Go out and see Jeremiah. He's one of the tops.
You do kind of have a natural old-timey...
I feel like I could do a better one off of the. I mean, that thing is great, but I just feel like
Here, let's see how this is.
Hey, okay. Maybe it's just turned up a little bit too loud. Here we go. Try about this. This should be pretty good right here. That's Ovaltine for what's good for you, see? And you gotta go see Jeremiah Watkins. He's one of the best working in the business today. Go see him, and boy, oh boy, will you be fun. And this episode is sponsored, of course, by Laramie Cigarettes. Smoke it until your lungs are dead and brown.
Laramie and Bryson. This comes from J. Allen, isn't my name. Okay, on Twitter. Being that it has brought both grassroots opportunities professionally and insecurity-provoking vitriol personally, is the comedy world better or worse now that social media has made fans feel so familiar with performers?
That's a deep question.
It is a
man.
deep question.
Holy shit. It's deeper than the voice on this thing, which now that's a deep question. I just keep like queuing it up, and I pressed the wrong thing anyway. This thing is great. I'm gonna get one of these for my house. I think the answer to that, man, is I don't know. I think that there's something to be said, and it goes back to the psychology of like people. If you think about people who watch the news, right? You have people that watch one news program every night, and it comes from that psychology of there's the anchor is staring into the camera, and the audience feels like they're being spoken directly to.
Mm-hmm.
So they feel like they know the person because over years they're like, I'm telling you the news, I'm telling you this. And I think that's the same with podcasts. You're eavesdropping on a conversation that people are having, and they feel like they're a part of it. You know, they feel like they're in that circle. So, and to a fault on Irish Goodbye podcast, we reveal way too much about ourselves. And will that become an eventual big problem in my life in terms of having to explain to my child someday all of the shit that I admit willingly? Like, you know.
Dude, I accidentally revealed that I was called Doug in high school, and my own team turned on me here and started putting up graphics of Doug and animations. Let's just say we're not even that high tech yet on this show.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable that they were able to queue up those graphics. I'm fuming
red
over
hot?
this. I'm red hot. Red hot.
Love that song. What are the best theme
When
songs?
a sinner gonna give it to your mama.
But wouldn't you say though that I think it's a net good thing because podcast has given us the ability to grow our own fan base. You know,
Yeah,
but
I think it cuts out. I mean, it's amazing. Like because the old traditional way is you would have had to have gotten on a sitcom or a network or something. And we have way more of the control and the power in our hands now. If you're a motivator, if you're a hustler, and you're putting out good stuff, then people will kind of come to you now versus
100%.
like you used to kind of have to wait around more. I do feel like, though, a lot of us would have already made it had it been the 80s or 70s, though.
Right. Yeah.
There was such less people trying to do it,
the
and it
talent
wasn't.
pool was
yeah,
it was a lot thinner, and that's the thing too. Though I mean, the one part that feels weird. I mean, it's this double-edged sword, man. Like if I go on the road and people come out to shows, that's already a great feeling. If you know that they're there for you. But like also after shows, people will be like, "I got you a dirty martini because I know that's your favorite drink." Where you're like, "I love
so
that."
nice.
But then other times they'll be like, "So like, how's Erica doing? I know she had like a doctor's appointment," and you're like, "All right, this is you know what I mean?" Like, or the other time, sometimes people will come up to you again because they've listened to the podcast or they've heard me on something else, and they feel as though they know me, so they don't introduce themselves. They just go like, "Hey, what's going on, Mike?" And I have the insecurity that most comics do, which is, oh no, I've met this person before.
Of course.
We have a relationship because they are approaching me very casually and already talking to me. So I am just going to pretend that I have met you. So I'll just go, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Good to see you again," even though we've never met. And that's the responsibility of the person coming up, I think, to let you know, like, "Hey, dude, we've never met before, but blah, blah, blah." Like, introduce yourself for the love of God, because otherwise the whole time I'm going, am I an asshole?
Yeah, did I meet this person? Where did I meet them?
Yeah, I'm an asshole now. That's why I feel terrible. So I think, but no, overall, I think it's a net thing, a net positive. What do you think? Yeah?
I think I think it's good overall for sure. Yeah, I think it's also on us to keep certain things separate with certain relationship things, because people are going to consume as much as we allow ourselves to put out. You know what I mean? So that's where it becomes our job as the performer and the personal stuff, where it's like, okay, I'm going to keep this stuff kind of more sheltered from the public than other things.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things you got to keep private, but we live in such like an open heart, industry right now, where it's truth telling is at an all-time high.
This was a comment that I saw on Twitter that I didn't print off, but it kind of made me laugh, so I'll try to find it real quick. Somebody wanted to give us the character suggestion of...
Is it John Mulaney again?
No. It was Closeted Gangsters.
Closeted Gangsters? That's very fun.
I forget what person on Twitter. Shout out to whoever did that.
I always thought that would be
maybe Gage can pull that up. Maybe he can pull up a graphic of something that I actually need right now.
That isn't Doug. Yeah.
That isn't Doug. Okay, I think we're a couple. I figure we're a couple. A couple of guys sitting, over. Was meeting up for, run some books and stuff like that. We're doing our lunch.
Have a little prosciutto, talk about some stuff, But I gotta tell you, that guy over there, you see Tony. He's a good-looking guy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what do you mean exactly? He's Tony, a good-looking guy, man?
No. I mean, I got of course, I got a wife and a kid. I'm not gonna do nothing, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind rolling around in that hay. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't really know what you're saying, other than I mean, sometimes when I look at Tony, I guess I'm kind of curious. Like, what's his sauce taste like?
Yeah. That's a normal thing. It's not. It's not. Love to my mother. I swear to God, my grandmother.
I mean, dude, you should have seen what I did to my wife last night.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I just blew it out.
Tell me.
Yeah, it's one of those things I couldn't even get it down. It was so raging. You know what I mean?
Maron, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Let me ask you this. Now, and be honest with me, because I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, okay.
But you ever sometimes, you be trying to have sex with your wife and you go, in your head, in your head now.
It's totally in the head.
It's not real.
It's not real.
But sometimes in your head, you just go, I wouldn't mind if this was, Leonardo DiCaprio under me. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Sometimes, like a Christian Bale or somebody will pop in, but it's like totally or like, Sly Stallone. That's Italian. That's Italian. I think it's part of the heritage. It's one of those things where, it's one of those things where, you want to make mama proud.
Wouldn't mind going 14 rounds with him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, come on, we got to get to these books.
No, let's get to the
it's
books.
Totally
but,
one of those things.
Saying, something weird how the pencil looks like a dick.
I mean, have you ever put the eraser in your mouth just to see what it feels like?
Have I put the eraser in my mouth?
Yeah, have you ever put it in your mouth
before? What are you talking about? Whoa, wait.
Have you put it in your mouth?
What are you trying to imply?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I have, but that's not. That's not something. I didn't know other people
put
did that too.
Anywhere else. I mean.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, it's.
Not that I would want to put it. I mean, here's what I say: if my wife puts something back there, I can't be held accountable.
No, I mean,
I can't be held accountable for what she puts back there.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And it's small enough, so it's not like It's
dude, if it was a number 4 pencil, get out of here. It's kind of.
No, I'll tell you this, because sometimes I make my own, sausages, so I take the hot soprano.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I didn't tell you. I explored the nether regions of my body with the little hot soprano.
Sometimes I Google strong men stirring stromboli. You ever do that?
Oh. No,
you ever do
that's
that?
what a great.
Free. I mean, it's just like hairy arms. I mean, it's just kind of I don't know if it's weird. I don't know. I think it's kind of manly, if anything.
Can I ask you this though?
Yeah.
I feel like we're being open here.
I think we're being totally open. I mean, we got to get these books in a second. But what are you gonna say?
I kind of sometimes I just want to be held by a man. You ever feel that?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God! I gotta tell you, because I'm a man. I'll break your fucking skull. Okay?
No, I will ruin you if you come at me. I will grab a baseball bat. I'll knock your jaw clean off of my block. You'll never see the end of the day.
You're dead. But at the same time,
I would love to be caressed sometime.
I just want to be the little spoon.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
You be the marinara. I'll be the little spoon.
Yeah, you be the big fork. I'll be the little fork. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plug me up.
Yeah, come on.
So what were we talking about?
I don't know. Closeted Gangsters. Anthony Thomas _1. Thank you for that awesome suggestion.
That's great. Yeah, that's such
and thanks for the freaking pixelation, you douchebag Gage. You freaking douche.
Yeah,
you can get
that Doug was
high def
the highest
Doug,
res.
but then the Twitter comments are pixelated AF. Okay, Gage.
It was Instagram.
Anthony. That was Instagram? Yeah. How dare you come on this show to tell me I'm wrong? I can't even. I'm trying to play the character of a guy who is like a bad boss. I can't do it. I love Gage. He's a good guy. But that was it was pixelated. And I will stand by that. He's sending me a heart emojis. We got it, guys. I love it when it goes off the rails. And you know what? Gage knows that that's what makes the show good too. And he's poking Papa Bear today. He's poking me with the freaking stick.
I gotta be honest. I know he's definitely causing it, but I'd like to think, and I don't want to be a guy who's taking too much credit for this, but I am gonna inject myself in here. I do think my New York energy is kind of
I love your New York energy.
You know what I mean? I think some of that anger.
You're breathing some fresh air.
Yeah.
Some of that like Irish vitriol.
Vinegar. Yeah.
It's good. It's stirring the pot, and I like it.
Yeah. Angry Jeremiah. It's a fun.
You know what? People love Angry Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And guess what? I have anger issues. Okay, so I'm glad you like it because I bury everything deep inside. And sometimes Gage will swirl his cuticle around my belly button just to see how much angrier I can get. Well, guess what? I'm freaking pissed right now with Feeney on the show.
I mask my anger with a constant smile and a sunny disposition, but just know, deep down inside, I am purely... Oh, I thought you were going to finish angry. you literally wound up like you were going to say something.
I was waiting for you to finish, and I was going to say, which reminds me.
Yeah.
Send in your kindness challenge letters to jeremiahwonders@gmail.com. Guess what? We haven't been receiving many emails lately. Are you guys not being kind? I don't want to just keep telling my stories on the show over and over, because then it sounds like this guy's a hack and he's just being braggadocious. That's not the point of the kindness challenge. It's to inspire others to be kind.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Inspire others to be kind.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh no, Jeremiah.
Let's
See,
just get into this last segment.
Your
Mike.
emotions are all over the map.
Oh my
today, bro.
goodness! Oh, I am so hormonal right now. What is going on?
It's that time.
That time. Let's get into this last segment.
Mm-hmm.
Sax talk.
Sax talk. Oh, sax talk. So this takes place when I was still a virgin. Okay, so I was still a virgin at the time, and I had the option to lose my virginity early. Yeah, and so I was, I think I was 15 years old, and hit me, baby. So this woman goes, she was also 15. She said to me, she goes, "Why don't we go see a movie together?" So I was very excited. I was like, hell yeah, let's go see this movie. So we decided to go see the film with Eddie Murphy and Robert De Niro called Showtime. So it was this buddy cop film or whatever. So we go to meet up there, and I'm very excited to see this movie. And then she suggests, right before we walk in, she goes, "Why don't we instead skip the movie, go into the woods behind the theater, and you can," and I'm quoting, "you can fuck me up against a tree." Now here's the thing. That was quite an offer, one that you can't really refuse it. However, as a 15-year-old virgin, the idea of fucking vertically and against a tree was something that I don't think I could do now. Let alone as a kid. So I tried to, and also I had just heard so many good things about the movie Showtime. So I say, hey, why don't we go see the movie first, get all jazzed up on this great buddy cop flick, and then afterwards maybe we'll do the fucking in the woods thing. So she says to me, nope, it has to be one or the other. Fuck me against the tree. Oh, also, it was raining, by the way. So it was cold, raining, and fucking up against a tree standing vertically. So I say, why don't we go see the movie? And she goes, you got to choose one or the other. Either you're going to go fuck me against this tree right now, or you're going to go watch this movie alone and by yourself. And I think you guys who have seen me and listened to me so far know what I did. I saw Showtime, you guys. I saw it by myself, all alone. And I gotta tell you, it was a terrible film. And that was it. That was my sex story. It's so weird that you played that because that's exactly the song that was playing as I walked home and the rain sat after that.
Raindrops keep falling on my head. I shouldn't have seen that movie. I wish I got some head sitting in the rain. Oh, raindrops keep falling and I got no head. Well, Mr. Mike Feeney, it has been a pleasure, my friend.
This has been great. You're an improv master. I love everything you got going on. I love everything you do. You're so funny. You're so nice. There's not one person in the comedy scene that is ever, when your name is brought up, that is never synonymous with funny guy, super nice guy, which I think are the two most valuable things you could be in comedy.
Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate you telling me that.
I always love running into you, and you know.
I know. Anytime we have an excuse when I have an excuse to go out on the East Coast or you come here, it's always a pleasure, my friend.
It's always a party. Thanks for
Get
having
his
me.
freaking album, guys.
Check it out. It's on iTunes. It's also available everywhere. If you can't afford the $10, which I would
It's on
hope.
Spotify, right?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's everywhere you can listen to an album. Listen to it, share it, spread it around. It's my debut album, and yeah,
it's a big deal.
Check out Irish Goodbye Podcast.
Love you, dude. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. It was wild.
Oh my goodness. Gage put up. He put up the bully's name?
Roger.
Who's the freaking bully? Roger?
Roger Klotz.
Roger Klotz. That's Gage.
He bullied you.
That's why he's been bullying me the whole show.
Because he's Roger.
Because he's Roger.
Holy shit. Dude, that's crazy. Oh my God. Wow.
Oh, hell yeah.